And we're live. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. And a stream that I have been looking forward to for quite some time. Because this is... one, it's a kind of important stream for me, because this is my 100th stream on this series. Which is, I don't know, to me feels like an achievement. I have managed to keep one series going for 100 streams. Which I think comes to about 200, probably. Probably 250 hours. So I think I tend to go over with my Final Fantasy streams more than I go under time. But this is also a big one because finally getting to start Shadowbringers of Sorin. Which is... I know for a lot of people it's still their favourite expansion is Shadowbringers. I think Shadowbringers is the best individual expansion, but I have a soft spot for Endwalker. But last we left off, all the Scions are out of action, all being called by a voice from beyond. And so is Sorin, one that told him that there's something going to be left for him in the Crystal Tower, which Tataru and the other Scions and the Sons of St. Quinnock have all been helping search for. So it's time to see if there's been any progress made. Tataru? How are things going? Have we got any word? Good news, Sorin! We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon! You have? Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. And they found something? That path I doubt we'd ever have found had the Ironworks and Sons not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover. Well, if that's the case, then I'll go down and help out. I can do at least that much, right? My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is that this mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire comes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. Right, I'll head down there straight away then. There's a boat in North Silvertower waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way. Right. We haven't found a beacon, but this is progress. A new site to search. So I'm just going to check quickly that... oh yes, language is still... the audio language is still English. Feels very purple. Light at the moment. I suppose it is gloom. Is the weather always... no, the weather does change in Mordona, right? It isn't always gloom. Head along the shore and look for a boat. Not seeing anyone. Hello there. Head to the survey site, sir. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat. If you don't mind. Hello, Minnie. Welcome to the stream. Beginnings of Shadowbringers. Everyone's here. So that's... the maze... the labyrinth of the ancients, maybe? Tataru? Right, so how can I get started?
Look how many people there are. Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Right. Anything...
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look.
Biggs!
We've found bugger all without you.
Wedge!
Biggs! Wedge!
It's been a while. Everything's sold up.
Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business, so we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
Right. Time to get searching.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Right.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Anything...
This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands
device,
dirty.
like... hold up. Is that... Maybe... This is... something.
Sorry,
That's
I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in.
Sorry about that, but... Is this the...
What's that you got there? Now
Is-
that looks promising.
Is that...
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
I was wondering about that. You didn't build this?
Now I have you.
Voice again!
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice.
I...
Let
Hard not to...
space contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw
It's
wide
reassuring.
the gates that we may
Ugh,
pass.
I like that.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light.
Start.
Find your friends and bring them home.
This is... Oh, where am I? This feels... Oh. Where am I? What is...
The dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
Which one?
You're slaves to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you. Go!
Is...
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still...
What?
Still it came to this.
What is all this? Is that... What am I seeing?
Your time has not yet come.
It's... Yo. Warriors of Darkness. I don't think Sorin knows his name yet. He doesn't. They don't introduce themselves by name until Shadowbringers, do they? That's right. Not underground anymore. Where? I don't recognize any of this.
From endless dreams I awake.
Right. Is this where I'm supposed to be?
Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Where do I start? This... There's someone. Guess it's easy enough to just ask where I am. Excuse me? I couldn't ask a question or two, could I? I'd love to purple. Purple is a good color.
Someone out here is not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
Night? You... I'm sorry, sir, you've lost me a little.
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time.
I'm not sure I get the joke.
And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply.
When did we last have a dark night? I'm sorry, I'm not from around here.
100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
No dark nights in 100 years? Where am I?
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it.
Like I say, I'm not from around here.
You did thee. Poor beggar. That explains it then.
Huh? I'm okay, thank you.
Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you'd best hurry along to the town nearby.
Right, that's probably an... Oh, hello.
Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough.
Through the
It's
trees.
the biggest settlement for malms around.
Right. Thank you. It's getting
Go on now,
civilization.
friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Crystarium? Right. Yes, that's as good a place as any to start figuring things out. Tomorrow and tomorrow kicking in. Wait.
Dizzying heights it rises. The gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy.
The Crystal Tower?
There, it will all begin anew.
This
between dark and light.
This isn't
The pure
Mordona,
and
so
the
why is the
corrupt.
tower?
The one true struggle.
Oh. I have been looking forward to this for too long. Right. Oh. Right. Trying to remember if I had a keybind for the walk. This is not what I expected. I'll get answers when I find people, I guess. Oh. Oh. Hello there.
Halt!
Oh. Hello. Oh, I've hidden the text.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not.
I'm
This
new.
is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
Fair enough.
From
Yeah.
where do you hail?
There are a few games it'd be nice to be able to forget purely so you can enjoy it, like the surprises again. Limsa Lemensa. Well, at least locally, that's where I'm
Do
from.
you take me for a fool? No such place exists.
I don't know what to tell you.
Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
I'm honestly not trying to conceal anything. Uh-huh. It's not like the monsters I normally... Wait a moment.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
That ring... Maybe I should have stayed with the guy.
Everything all right, Captain?
That voice is... You're the one who...
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known.
Another of... Does that
Very
mean...
well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
No problem. Just doing your job. Who are you?
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
I hope you will. But far too many right now.
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
Didn't have much of a say in the matter, but you're welcome.
I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief.
The crossing to where?
And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
This is one of the shards? First, that's... First things first. What about the others? Alizé, Alphino, Bancred, Stola?
That is a question with no simple answer. But all
What do you mean there's no simple answer? Are they here or not?
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above.
I'd rather you begin with my friends.
Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light.
I guess that can wait. The light. That's
It began
what...
a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost.
That's right, this is the world that the Warriors of Darkness came from.
And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity.
That's...
It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes.
To fight these Sin Eaters?
And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well.
What do you mean by that?
But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
Right. What's the Crystal Tower doing in the first? Did the Allegan Empire appear here as well? This is the Crystarium. They've made a city of the Crystal Tower.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol. A monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Crystarium. I get to see the 1.0 area. Wait, the 1.0 area? Okay, so... And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium. So... You want to explain where my friends are yet? Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. But I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would have you visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders, and glean something of this world and its predicament. Okay. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aephorite, a convenience with which I am sure you're only too familiar. Oh yeah, the 1.0 the 1.0 trailer. Okay, yeah, I was trying to think of. I don't know much about what 1.0 looked like in terms of like where the area design. I wasn't thinking of the trailer. A convenience with which I'm sure you're only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail and find a connection to Source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. So I can return to the Source? After you have done so, walk up the steps next to the Aephorite and head out to the left to arrive in the crystalline mean. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokeswoman Catalyst, one of the people I should like you to meet. Another is Morin. To reach him and his Cabinet of Curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps. Take the exit on the left, and simply continue straight along and down until you come to the large doors at the end of the path. The third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, which you can access from the opposite side of the Aephorite Plaza. Right. And once I've spoken to them, then you'll tell me what's happened to my friends? In seeking out each of my colleagues, you'll visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. I understand. As long as I get my answers at the end of this. Very good. I concede the layout of the Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of other stars and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being the case, when they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. Right. Now I'll be curious about where you are from. When you've finished making the rounds, pray meet me in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then... Right. Really better get some answers after all of this. Not to change the Aephorite. By focusing your sensors, you detect the flow of vastly distant currents of Aephor. Your connection to these energies is faint but stable, and should allow teleportation to Aephorites into Source. At least I have a way back home. Can't return it, at the very least, until I know what's happened to the others. Tedious task of attuning to every Aephorite. Though not as tedious as attuning to every Ethernet shard. So somewhere up here I was to look for Catalyst. Is that a... Looks like it looks like an Aethernet shard. And seems to work like one. Lots of people around here. Excuse me. I'm looking for Catalyst. Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city. You could say that. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The XIV can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized too, thanks to us and the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources, and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll all be handed to you on a plate like those Yulmoran layabouts. Here in Tricastarium, we work for a living. Oh, I see you're no stranger to honest labour. You don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where's it you're from? Well, I come from the same land as the Exarch. One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him. And any friend of his is a friend of ours. Tower? It's really quite incredible when you think about it. Isaiah's grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence. Pulled the entire thing out of thin air. Out of thin air? It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never yet let us down. So if he, and you, wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any crafting talent you might be hiding. If you've aught to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catalyst, and I'll find you a niche here in the Crystalline Mean. You can help us keep the cogs of this city greased and turning. Right, maybe at some point. I've got a little bit of goldsmithing experience. I don't know if it's quite anything helpful. Huh. Tower just appeared? I know before, in the source, it was hidden for a while. Then it was the calamity that kind of dug it up. From the sounds of it, maybe the Exarch will answer all these questions. Never. Are they a militia? They work together in this world? That's a sight to see. Anyway, the Cabinet of Curiosities. I'm guessing those are the huge doors the Exarch mentioned. This looks like underground garden. It's definitely not like the other cities I've been in. There's a tune here. Right. I'm looking for Morin. That was it. Excuse me, sir. Ma'am. Books on the shelves are free for any resident of the Extreme to borrow. You need only put in a request. The basement archives, however, are restricted to all but authorized personnel. Oh. Right. I guess that's not... excuse me, sir. I'm looking for Morin? Excuse me, sir. You recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic rules, you see, and, well... Morin? What I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll, even? A scrap of scribbled on parchment? I can't say I have. Sorry. My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Morin, at your service, and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you... Excuse me? My colleagues and I are responsible for curating all manner of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Maybe a spot of academic research? I'm actually here. Crystal Exarch advised me to visit, find out more about the world. Oh, so you've an interest in modern history? Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives, I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment and I'll fetch it for you. A children's book? I guess I can't complain about it being made simple. There's enough questions I have. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable. On with the lesson then. Oh. Story time. A 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease, until today an enormous, blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet, just when it seemed that all would be lost, a saviour appeared before us. The Oracle of Light. She stood twixt us and the approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrant, and Norvrant alone spared the fate of erasure. So I'm just noticed a little in there that you can see some of the like Sin Eaters you'll fight later. Including, I think, the first Light Wardens in there. Tragedy, however... tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folk who survived. These Sin Eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from northern sky. Even now they circled the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I'd be glad to retell it for you. Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad for the company. Oh, thank you for your time, but right now I've got quite a list of things to do. From the sounds of it, the Crystal Exarch's the only person with the answers I really want. I have to find out what happened to the others. Right. So it was, what was his name? Head of the markets. Excuse me, sir. Ooh. You're to the city, friend. Spinning head and wide eyes give you away. Welcome. My name's Bragi, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for humans such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, humans? Hi. Something wrong? I'm not familiar with the term. Sorry. Oh, let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a hume, like you. And the taller one is an elf. Not Ellison? That sturdy individual over there is a Galgant. Whilst the one with horns is a Drawn. And then you have the large, scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zun. Right. They all have different names. Which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. I come from the same homeland as the Exarch. Ah, same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they've floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry. Should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Right. Thank you. Okay, that's going to have to remember that. I'm a hume here. That's... one more Aethernet shard up here. Get these out of the way so I don't have to worry about it later. here. And then he said to meet him in the plaza in front of the tower. Hopefully now that's the wrong place. Hopefully now I've learned a bit about his world, he'll be willing to tell me what happened to the others. Exarch. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? I feel I'm a little brushed up on what the situation here is. Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but it was necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted the details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the self-same one you know from the source, transported to the First in its entirety. Wait, this is the same Crystal Tower? It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds. Something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. And although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. Well, it was still there in the world when I left, so... Wait... Took the Crystal Tower from the future? Then... does that mean... You've done as I requested, and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain, and explained what has befallen your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. Wait. The tower's open? And if it's from the future, that means... Is Graha here? I am not familiar with that name. Is there something I should know? There was a... I don't know what the term is here, but a Makote in the tower, when it was still in our world. An extraordinary tale, but I'm afraid I found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed into my care. Mayhap we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it's best that we focus on the present. Graha wasn't in the tower? How far in the future did he take it from? Hold up. How did he pull the entire tower from the source? Every question that's answered gives me 3 more. Excuse me, sir. Greetings, sir. The Exarch awaits you within. Right. Let's get some answers. This is his... Right.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard.
So...
I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind.
I will. Just... what about my friends?
Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions.
Yes.
To put it simply, they are here in the First.
They are?
Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That
Okay.
said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence. And thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time.
Right.
As for your companions, however, Yustola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5.
Wait, but it was only days ago today.
Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the First for almost a year.
Almost a... Feels like it was only yesterday that Alize collapsed.
My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well.
So you took the others just by accident?
As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
Wait, they can't go back? Then... That aside, they've been here years? What? So what's happening?
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least.
Okay, so you did try.
As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift.
A vision?
In that chaotic no man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass.
That's what I mean, there were things I saw the past when I was traveling through.
In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source.
Never rejoining.
This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die.
I die?
And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the First, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity.
We can prevent the calamity?
Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips.
Wait, track them down?
I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
You've got my trust, but there better be a way for them to get back.
Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Right. When he says track them down, I guess that means the others are not here in the Crystarium. Okay. So what are you showing me? The Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I've been informed that a room has just become available to dependents. Which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. Right. I suppose I didn't actually look around the markets too much. Might be worth knowing where I can stock up around here.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. Aught you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here.
Right, so... like any market, I guess.
Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough.
It will?
Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood.
Right.
After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal.
Right.
As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice.
Well, that
from what your
works
story
out.
tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter.
Right.
Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Familiar? Wait. Are those tombstones? Just... Well...
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld. Avan Kerm Sin?
Excuse me?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
Hello?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm.
Hello.
And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
There's a way to do that? Can I help you?
Came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift.
You know about this?
Wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful
thank you.
consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin.
Pact?
But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
I think so. I haven't noticed anything missing.
Just as I thought. Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass.
Wait, does that mean there was the possibility that I would have left things behind?
From this moment forth I will be your Isne Fis, and you my Snay Yak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand.
This is safe? Okay. Like this?
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the Source to inform them of your safe arrival.
We can do that? Tara was there when I left, so if you could reassure her that I made it safe and sound. Right.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings.
Right.
They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by Pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium.
She's certainly got energy.
Right. We were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
Right. Thinking about it, I could do have a bit of a lie down. This is a lot to process. Can access all the shiny things. Over this way. Is this the right place? The Exarch's here, so I'm guessing I'm in the right place. Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at Dependence for the duration of your stay. Make use of as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray, rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the Ocular anon. I believe that covers all of the practical concerns. Was there something else? Thank you for answering my call, Sorin. We are denied the comforting blanket of night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. Right. There's no... It's gonna be weird trying to sleep with the light being as bright as it is. Excuse me, sir. A pleasure to meet you, sir, and welcome to your new home at Dependence. Your room is ready, if you'd care to retire. If you don't mind showing me the way. This is quite a room. I wasn't expecting this much. Is this... Even got a lake view. What is... Is this a room worthy of a hero? Even left the food out for me. Wait, you're...
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the Source.
You're... the warrior of darkness. You're still alive?
What? Did you just... You can hear me?
Yes?
Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbert. I used an alias in the Source. A daft one, looking back.
Ardbert? made it back
If you
safely then?
recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood.
Yeah. We did.
We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians,
At least he's self-aware.
let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their God's damned ardor.
Realized he was being a bit edgy.
I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrant, Minfilia and my friends. They surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness.
Sweet. Then they're all...
Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
I've been told it's been about a century.
100 years. 100 long years.
You're just a spirit.
My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift.
For 100 years?
I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
That's a question I don't entirely know the answer to myself. I can explain what I can.
You were summoned to save the First.
It seems to be the
Waste
case.
of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it.
Is it?
Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end.
That's...
Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
It's... The beds in Final Fantasy XIV don't look comfortable. I've never always thought they're very... They're kind of bricks. Right. All rested up. Yeah. That's the whole story you get if you... I'm sorry, you've been able to do the combine the final set of quests for Yeah, the Shadowbringers role quests have you now, Minnie? Now that you've gotten healer up? Because I remember that kind of goes into a bit more of the heroes of the 13th. Right. Have I... still... I think it's just the one Aethernet shard I'm missing, and I think we're head over there in these quests. Right. Let's see... see if I can't find my friends. Exarch?
Ah, how did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest?
Yeah. I did have a bit of a visitor.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
Yeah.
Let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
Right. Where are they? This
map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the flood of light.
I'm guessing everything outside the circle is flooded, then?
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland.
Right.
To the north is the fairy kingdom of Ilmeg. That is where you'll find Urianger.
Right.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest.
Okay.
Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty.
Oh yeah, they've had that symbol in for a wee while now, I feel. I can't remember exactly when they added it, but I have been noticing it more and more recently.
As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium.
Right. So that's... what about Thancred?
Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement.
That certainly sounds like Alphino. What about Alze?
Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armarang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
That certainly sounds like the twins are doing what they do best. But you haven't mentioned Thancred. He was here the longest, wasn't he?
Will it be Calicia or Armarang? It matters not which you choose to visit first.
That's...
Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount.
Right.
But you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters.
I suppose that does kind of sound like Thancred as well.
Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
We do always have a chance of bumping into each other. As long as he's out there. Right. Where to go, though? think I have to find Alizé first. She was there at Beginlet Dark, so... Ready to depart for Amarang. Alizé will be overjoyed to see you safe. I know she was particularly concerned for your well-being. She, impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of her summoning was. Repeatedly. Yeah, you... really could have timed that better. This is... I only hope that my part in sending you to her will garner me some measure of forgiveness. Here, this is a letter of introduction addressed to a man named Cassard, the master of a merchant caravan. There are few who know the ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him at the Amaro launch and he'll see that you reach your destination. Slap that shit. Yeah, I can imagine. It was... Alizé's teleportation was very poorly timed. The Amaro launch. So that's... Hunt marks. What is that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I don't have that one. I'm sure none of the Scions were too impressed with the situation of the teleport. Oh, got the register. Excuse me, sir. If you come looking for work, I might have a spot for another guard. I'm looking for... Cassard? I've got a letter from the Exarch. Oh, a friend of the Exarch. Hoping to meet someone in Amarang, are you? Then I shall be your guide. I was about to set off for our outpost there, as a matter of fact, so we can leave right away. Assuming you have everything you need. I think I'm as ready to go as ever. Another person who's seen yourself. Yep, nope. Alphino never forgets. All set? Then off to the Unforgiving Sands we go.
Arang. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Armarang meant majestic land in the language of his people.
This is...
And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Thanks for the ride, Cassard. Oh, no matter how many times I come here, the cold never fails to catch me off guard. The sky may be as bright as in the scorching hours of the day, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where this Alizé friend of yours is staying. But that's a fair old distance, so I propose we make a stop in Mordsuk to break up the trek, allowing me to attend to some business, and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot. I'm off. I'd better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Right. Right, we head southwest. Straight as an arrow. Right. guessing that's Mortsuk. There's... wildlife. Maybe avoid getting in any trouble for now. There's cactuars? A little fairly larger than the ones I know, but looks similar enough. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Amarang, is it not? It is. Before you cross the river's hand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. That is some building. Didn't look quite so impressive from the sky. They built them big, didn't they? That's XIV... oh boy, how do I pronounce that? XIV Charles, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabafarang. Seeing what was left behind? I believe it when they say it was once one of Northern's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Nabafarang's lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days. Not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become little more than a marrow roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is as deserted as this place. Just wait until you see Mortsuk. Let's press on, shall we? Right. I just realized the objective was admire the view. That's a drop. Oh, hold up, is that? That's an Aether current. Let's see if I can't tune into that. I wonder if I can... Aquila? You're here too. Let's go. See what's going on here. That looks like an Aetherite in there. Cassard? Here we are, Mortsuk. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. So... what are we doing here? Mortsuk. Not just full of Mord, but Humes and all manner of others too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you could never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengan. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. Are they kobolds? That's... really do all get along in this world. So I should quickly attune here before pressing on. Never know when being able to teleport somewhere will come in handy. Right, Where was Cassard? Oh, there he is. Guessing this is Gengen. Hello there. So, is this what kobolds look like without their helmets? Hello.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Mordsook.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang.
Oh,
You'll
right.
find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too. Many of them rare.
Right.
As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Mordsook's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mord do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it?
I suppose it's good to see even the end of the world doesn't stop the economy.
Or perhaps a Mord philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals.
Right.
And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
Custom?
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
Right. I can do that.
As the good Mord says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense.
He really didn't need to.
A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
I'm guessing it's valuable.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
I'm guessing it's valuable.
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here!
Come and look.
You buy, you buy?
Yeah.
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots.
Yeah, pots are a bit much.
Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
Right. So some food wouldn't be bad. This make me hungry, money. Don't put food in my mind. Right. Ron. Hello there. Welcome to Ron's Traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling onto merchandise, yes? Alright. Worms? I'm not so sure about that. Frogs as well don't seem too... I have to look through all of them. Everyone's favorite, plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed regular, you'll never want any other treat. Wait, it's an option. I hadn't realized it's an option. Silly customer, you cannot eat Ron. Not even for a Vobert gold piece. Right. Of course. Ooh, you like these? Those chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks. Spear with a stick and roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. What about the meat? That's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. And the bread is... I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. Right. They all look tasty, yes? Which to choose? Which to choose? Bastard says it can get pretty... chilly at night, so... I'll try the lizard meat. Ever-burning bounty, was it? Yes, put some spice in your step. You won't feel the cold this night. And probably not the next one either. You have the gold? Right. Here you go. And done. 1 Vobertite honor buys you 10 sides of lizard meat. That's a fair bit of... okay, I see what he means by the smell. Oh. That was... something. Really, would you eat the law? I've still got traveling to do, maybe not best to fill up too much. Anyone want to share? Our visitor invites us to feast. Let us give thanks for his great generosity and small appetite. Consider your coin purse cracked. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honored ours. No problem. Okay. Oh, keeping the merchandise down, yes? No returns. Right, yeah. Wasn't planning on it. Oh. That does have a bit of a kick to it. Gengen? I was watching from here, Sorin. You honored our custom, and with great relish. You will always be welcome in Mortsuk. If you need anything in Amareng, we are here to provide. Thank you. But all that aside, Cassard, I'm still keen to find my friend. You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on tomorrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if I delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Mortsuk. Right, that's not too much of a problem. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up for the market. All properly paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. Right, I can do that. I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling then. See you in a bit. Right. I'm looking for... table cactus, iron ore, and antiques from Mulmul. Right. Well, if I search then... I don't need any more food from Ronron. Milmil was the one who sold the antiques, but I was to collect from Mulmul, right? Right. Okay. Oh, is that... Toltol? Alright, what was I doing again? I'm okay to collect this? Just on behalf of Cassard, you know? I've got receipt here. Cassard sent you, did he? Right, yes. What kind of war was it again? Continor, was it? Yes, wait, no. Are you sure? I don't seem to have any on hand. Let me just check the receipt again. Oh, sorry, it's iron ore. Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. Thank you. Okay, next on the list was... Table cactus from Tauntaun. Hello. Lift with your legs and not with your back. Good advice. I'm here to collect some things for Cassard. Oh, you came in with Cassard, yes? Good, good. You can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please, make your prickly purchase. Right. And then... Mool. Ooh, lovely, lovely pots. Here to collect some antiques? For Cassard? Hey, no touching! That merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind of a better offer. Oh, sorry, I'm here on behalf of Cassard. What? Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh, no, no, no. Navafarang relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box there. Handled with care. Right. I'll maybe not say to Cassard that... Is it wrong to not say to Cassard his supplier was possibly going to resell his purchase? So I saw those free diamonds on the side of the building and thought for... I just out of the corner of my eye and thought it was the Garlean Empire. Oh, like their emblem for a moment. Cassard, I've got everything on the list. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. Oh, is this everything you need? Aye, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work, too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I'd thought you wanted to sit in the city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. I guess you could say I've been around a fair bit. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you returned, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. Oh, was Shadowbringers that taught you to check out other things when doing the PO? Oh, yeah. There are some interesting things you can get in it. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard? Feels like an age since I last saw you. Oh. Oh, well, if it isn't a lovely Tesleen. It's been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alizé. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Hello. Wait, I know who you are. You do? Alizé has told me so much about you. You're Sorin, aren't you? I am? Right. Like throwing rocks at certain someone when you meet Sorin. Oh no. I knew it! How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I hope she hasn't been exaggerating too much. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've got to know Alisaie quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Sorin's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That'd be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. But seek me out when you've had your fill of Amarang, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Thank you, Cassard. But for now, I'll just be glad to see Alisaie again. Alisaie has been desperate to see you, Sorin, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. We just need to swing around the edge. Oh, swing around the ridge, then head south. Now come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. Right. I'll be off then, Cassard. Are those the spires she means? Do you need a hand with that at all? All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. Well, most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance. The local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? Of course, leave it to me. I thought you might. Alisaie was always saying how much you... let's get going, shall we? Wait, what was Alisaie saying? Right. Anyway, Akila, you wanna come help out? Miss Tisleen? Any sign of... Oh, there's one. Let me just... There we go. You okay? Oh, sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. Yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alisaie was strong, but in her mind she was never... Now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Right. Let's go see what's about. Okay. Any more coyotes? Not seeing too much. Oh, there they are. And... hold on. Okay, well, seems like the path is clear. Just let Tisleen know we're good to go. Tisleen? Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear it howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Well, let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. You sure you don't need a hand with them? Oh. I guess if she's confident. Is that the flood? I kind of thought the term flood was metaphorical, but that looks like it actually was just a physical flood of light ether. Made it okay? This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first, let's head inside, shall we? Right. Is Alize here? That's the main thing. So, where is this? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alize arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. The afflicted? You don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Alize who is so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. What do you mean? I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alize give you the full explanation. Right. So, where is she? No, I'm maybe sounding a little impatient. I've just been a bit worried about her. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind, in case she comes back while you're gone. Right. A watchtower. Should be easy enough to see. That looks like a watchtower if there ever was one. There's a quick A for current as well. Right. Alize? You about here? Footprints. Could these be... Well, he doesn't seem to be here, so... Maybe follow these? Still heading off this way. Past all the... Are these zombies? The noise from the light always makes me feel like there's something to look at. I guess avoiding a fight's not in the books. Oh. I should have figured as well that using standard step would draw someone else into the fight. Right. Okay, these are going all over the place now. Hope nothing's happened. Oh yeah, recounter. Yeah, the battle theme definitely like struck me as having so much of a different feel compared to the battle themes for Heavensward and Stormblood. What was that? That's
Get back
a silly Alize.
Is that... It can't be.
Alize. Definitely haven't got rusty since I last saw you.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Sorry I couldn't be here sooner.
How are you?
Better now I'm here. Glad to see you're okay.
We've fought them to a standstill then.
Yeah. We haven't won, but... well, we didn't lose.
The XIV did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then.
At least last time I was there, things were... still seemed to be in a stalemate.
I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least.
You haven't seen... it's been a full year and you haven't seen them?
When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims.
Right.
Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation.
Well, I suppose not.
As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters.
The Exarch said something about that.
That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood.
I was thinking that.
100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects, but when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down.
Right.
Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations.
And that's what...
Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities.
So it spreads.
They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason, which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them.
So when Tesleen was talking about...
The infirmary is full of the Sin Eater's victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
That is what's going on. They're all infected by light. It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you. And while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Right, of course. What can I do? Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Right. I can trust Alizé to look after herself. I guess I'm on patrol. Right. This is the first spot. Any sign of trouble? Oh, there's one. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, nice one, Aquila. Right. Okay, that's that spot cleared. On to the next one. Just around the corner. Let's get some other trouble. Guess I can't go anywhere where wildlife is friendly. Any trouble here? This one seems peaceful enough. One last spot. Excuse me. Nope, one more. Here we go. That's everywhere Alizé marked off for me. Let's return to the inn. How did you fare? I found a couple of them, all dealt with. Ah, I thought there might be one or two lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the Void Scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols. They call their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play, and you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tasleen, shall we? Right. Guess that makes sense. Keep the numbers down so there's never enough of them to swarm in the first place. That's right, I was distracted enough when looking for Alizé, I didn't think to attune to the Aephorite here. Victory! Indeed. Easy battles. Sorin's got the experience at this point. Alizé tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alizé has missed your company. Everything is always, if Sorin were here, he would... That was an exaggeration. You don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Sorin's methods. Slowly getting closer to level 90. Yep. Little by little. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. He leaps into the fray without hesitation. It really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing. Oh, I've no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. What's the next one? Purchase of fruit. But I think that's going to be it for now. It's hit 10 o'clock. Oh, but I am feeling happy to be back in Shadowbringers. Like for me, as far as I'm concerned, A Realm Reborn is good, Heavensward is good, Stormblood is good. But once you get to Shadowbringers and Endwalker, it's... I don't know, Final Fantasy XIV just feels to me like one of those games where I feel like I can tell like the developers kind of like improving on everything they've done before. Yeah, it is chef's kiss. But yeah, that'll be me for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more Sorin's Journey. And that will be continuing Shadowbringers. Likelihood is... Yeah, we'll definitely finish off Alizé's little segment here, and given the timing, I feel we'll probably finish Alphino's section in Clusia. I'm not sure. I feel we'll finish it. I don't know if I'll have time to... how much of Den I'll carry on into... like whether or not I'll meet the first dungeon. Might be the case. Because Shadowbringers gives you a bit more time. No. Oh, wait. No. I was thinking Stormblood, but no, I completely forgot the starting section in the early sections of Alamigo in Stormblood before you have the boat too. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see tomorrow, but I'm just it is nice to be back in Shadowbringers. I am looking forward to Sorin's reactions to the rest of it. But again, that's everything for today. I'll be back same time tomorrow, and then next week, finally with New Year's and all out of the way, schedule will be back to normal. But with all that said, you can follow me on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. But regardless of what you decide to do, thank you so much for coming along. I really hope you enjoyed. And until the next stream, have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.